And with me now is history professor and fascism expert Ruth Ben Ghiat, who provided analysis to the January 6th committee. She is also the author of Strongmen, How They Rise, Why They Succeed, and How They Fall. Ruth, looking at the landscape right now from this terrifying situation that we just heard from Evan McMullen to the danger that Vice President Pence was facing on January 6th, to the threats targeting the Department of Justice and election workers, do you remember a time in recent U.S. history when we would see public officials, elected leaders, undergoing this kind of threatening environment?
No, it's very concerning because the GOP is cultivating a climate conducive to political violence, starting with seeing political opponents or including members of Congress. Threats are up over 100% in the last year as an existential threat. And the history of political violence shows that if you want people to buy into violence or to commit violence, you have to get them to feel they're in mortal danger. And so we have great replacement theory that's espoused by many GOP lawmakers, as well as Tucker Carlson hundreds of times on his show, says that whites are being extinguished. We have all the discourses about the lawless Democrats who are going to bring crime and anarchy. So it's getting people into a state where they feel it's not just polarization, us versus them, it's us or them, and only one of us is going to survive. And so from that, you get this mentality that leads people to think that they have to be okay with violence because there's no other way.
And President Biden, Ruth, I'm sure you saw this and thought it was interesting. He weighed in on this radical streak at the heart of the Trump movement right now, and he said it's like semi-fascism. Those are the words he used. Democrats can call this stuff out all they want and try to bring down the temperature, but a whole segment of the population won't hear it. What do you think? Do you agree with Biden's assessment that part of the MAGA movement, much of the MAGA movement, is semi-fascist?
I actually think that's the perfect term because it takes a lot from the leader cult, even though the leader's no longer in office, to the loyalty quotients, to the party line. The GOP has a party line, and that's the big lie, right? It's acting like a fascist party and more broadly an authoritarian party. The semi-part is interesting because today you don't shut down elections. You hold elections and then you fix them. Right, so that you have the appearance of the democracy, like Orban in Hungary calls it illiberal democracy. So that's the part that's the semi-fascist. But yeah, the tactics that they're using are straight out of the playbook that started with Mussolini.
And I want to highlight this editorial from the New York Times about a potential Trump prosecution. The paper's editorial board argues, quote, no matter how careful Mr. Garland is or how measured the prosecution might be, there is a real and significant risk from those who believe that any criticism of Mr. Trump justifies an extreme response. Yet it is a far greater risk to do nothing when action is called for. Aside from letting Mr. Trump escape punishment, doing nothing to hold him accountable for his actions in the months leading up to January 6th could set an irresistible precedent for future presidents. What do you think, Ruth? Should the threat of civil unrest be a factor that Merrick Garland considers in all of this?
I think that the history of authoritarianism and individuals like Trump shows that, getting away with it is the essence of illiberal rule. And if you don't stand up for rule of law and accountability, it only emboldens people further. And we've already seen that January 6th has radicalized the GOP further. And if you look at the history of authoritarian parties, who's going out of the party? It's people like Liz Cheney who stand up for the rule of law. Who is coming in? It's lawless people who will pose with assault rifles, talk about violence, and even members of Oath Keepers groups are now making a career in the Republican Party. So the only way to stop this, drift toward violence is to hold Trump accountable as the person who incited violence on January 6th.
And if Trump is ultimately prosecuted for the classified documents investigation, this has been on my mind. That would not address his attempt to overturn the 2020 election. It's been compared to nabbing Al Capone on taxes. Do you think that would leave the door open for more election schemes from losing candidates? Or do you think it would be better off for the country to see perhaps concurrent investigations, concurrent charges, one perhaps a set for the classified documents, another set for January 6th, and so on?
Yeah, I think as many prosecutions as are needed to address the crimes are important. One of the problems is that the practice of election fraud has been institutionalized in the party. And if you want to get ahead in the Republican Party today, you have to espouse this party line of election denial, but also refuse to concede, right? So all over the nation, there are people who are refusing to concede. Some of them are already lawless individuals, like Tina Peters in Colorado was already indicted for election tampering, and now she's refusing to concede. This is exactly the type of person who's populating our political system now. So we've got to have as many prosecutions in as many areas of criminality in order to stand up for accountability and the rule of law in our country.
All right, Ruth Ben Ghiat, always great to talk to you. Always great to hear your expertise. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.